by Candace Ransom, illustrations by Eric Velasquez. For Ashley, Candace Ransom. To Deborah Williams Velasquez for her inspirational courage and strength, Eric Velasquez. I was born on wash day. Did you have to work that day? I once asked Mama. Our people work every day, Kezia, she said. Old Zeus, Mama and me, the three of us, belong to Mrs. Grace, a widow lady. We work for her, candlelight to candlelight, day in and day out. Monday is always wash day. Tuesday is ironing day. Wednesday is market day. Thursday, Mama sews and I mend. On Friday, Mama cleans Mrs. Grace's house while I polish the brass and silver. Saturdays, Mama weeds the garden. I help Zeus groom the carriage horses. But Sunday, sweet Sunday, we get liberty. After Mama cooks Mrs. Grace's dinner, we have the afternoon off to go visiting without passes. Mama and I take the dirt path downtown. White folks own the streets like they own us, but this path is ours, worn by the pounding of many bare feet. We call it Liberty Street. Used to be folks came to see us on Sundays. They'd eat Mama's peach pies and listen to Papa's stories. When folks started to leave, Papa would say, "Don't go yet, long time between now and morning." People couldn't stay, the constables would catch them, but they all laughed at Papa's joke. Then Mrs. Grace sold Papa to pay her husband's debts. The dark seemed darker without him. Mama sat by my bed and rocked me in her arms. "Inside your fear is a kernel of strength," she said. "Look deep and you'll find it." She told me she had heard of a new secret school. "Can I go?" I asked Mama. Mrs. Grace spells words in front of us when she speaks to other white folks. I want to know what those words are. The next Sunday, Mama sent me to Miss Eulalie, a free lady who will be our teacher. "Watch out for the constable," she warns. "It's against the law for Miss Eulalie to teach and for us to learn. White folks are afraid we might write our own passes. If we're caught, we might get 39 lashes." At Miss Eulalie's house, I look at her dishes and pictures and books. So many books. We meet in the back room with a low door and no windows. Miss Eulalie begins our first lesson. The letters of the alphabet. I can't wait to make words. I recite the ABCs while Mama rubs on her board. I spell new words as I spread Mrs. Grace's hankies on the grass to dry. I write my name in the sky. Mama bends over the ironing board. "How come you're ironing? It's not Tuesday," I say. "From now on," she declares, "I do washing every day. Mrs. Grace is bonding you out to her sister in Richmond. You could be gone for years. I'm working extra to buy your freedom." Take me away from Mama? That can't happen. One Sunday, Miss Eulalie tells us about Canada, a place where all of our people are free. It is cold and snowy there. Then we hear the constable's shoes clump on the cobblestones. He stops outside our door. We all fall still until he moves on. That night, I dream of that Canada place where every day is liberty. I dream of being a teacher like Miss Eulalie. The next day, Mama pulls a white shirt out of the clothes basket. "It's supposed to rain," I say. "I know," she says. She hangs the shirt on the line anyway. Mama counts her savings. Silver coins slip through her fingers like a glimpse of freedom. "Not enough," she says sadly. "Mrs. Grace is sending you away next week." I do not want to leave home. I do not want to leave school. Sunday night, it is my turn to read when there comes a bang at Miss Eulalie's house door. Shh! She closes the door to the windowless room, then drags something heavy across the door to hide it. We quickly douse the lights. It is as dark as a crow's pocket in there. My stomach becomes a hard knot of fear. We hear Miss Eulalie open the front door. "Evening," she says, smooth as butter. "What's going on here?" the constable demands. "I heard voices." "I live alone," Miss Eulalie says. "You must have heard me talking to my cat." "What cat?" asked the constable. "Oh, he hides when strangers are here," says Miss Eulalie. "I'll just look around," says the constable. We hear his boots thump throughout the house. The boots pause near the room we are hiding in. None of us breathe. I spell Canada silently to keep my heart quiet. At last, he turns away. When the constable is gone, Miss Eulalie lets us out. I'm crying. The others go home, but I stay, and Miss Eulalie shows me a picture of Canada. All that bright snow chases away the dark. "I heard tell of a tunnel that leads to the river," she says. "Once across, a body would be on her way to Canada." Turns out, Mama knows about the tunnel too. "Tonight, you will walk under the white folks' streets and not be seen," she says. "What about you?" I ask. "My time will come later," she says. "There is only room for one more in the boat." Mama plucks a red shirt from the basket. Then she packs biscuits in a sack and stitches silver and a note from Miss Eulalie into my apron. The note is for the people I will live with in Canada. Mama moves briskly, but her face is sad. "I don't want to go without you," I say. "You can go to school there," Mama says. "I'm scared," I tell her. "You'll be fine," Mama says. "Remember, look inside for your strength." She holds me tight. Then she lets me go. Zeus is waiting at our back door to guide me through the shadowy streets. We hide in the bushes whenever we hear footsteps. Then he rushes me into a house. Miss Eulalie is there with the others. "Are you coming too?" I whisper. "No, I must stay here to help our people run." She unlatches a trap door in the floor. A flight of stairs disappears into blackness. It is darker than a grave down there. I freeze in place. "Kezia," urges Miss Eulalie. "If I don't move, we will miss the boat. But if I move, the darkness will swallow me." Then I remember my mother's words. "Inside my fear of the dark is the light of freedom. All I have to do is walk toward it." I stumble on moss-slicked bricks. My feet carry me down. At the bottom, someone lights a lantern. I gasp in the stale air. We walk under the town, right under the white folks' houses. We tumble out of an old warehouse by a river. A boat is waiting for us. I look back at the town and wonder how Miss Eulalie fixed our escape. She couldn't do it alone. And then I know. My mother, rubbing clothes on her board, stirring with her trouble stick. My mother is invisible. She found out about the tunnel, the street to freedom. She figured when it was safe to run. The red shirt told everyone to leave that night. She stayed behind to help others, risking punishment if she's caught. The boat rocks as steadily as my mother's strong arms. I will get to that cold and snowy Canada land. I will work hard in school and I will become a teacher, and then I will send for my mother. After all, it's a long time between now and morning. Liberty Street by Candace Ransom, illustrations by Eric Velasquez. This is Brooklyn Blowback TV. The world in a snow globe.